This week, Michelle Fontaine takes us to the Tennessee mountains to visit a couple of great RV destinations that you should try to work into this year's trip itinerary. Then, Jeff Johnston checks back with Justin Scribner from Flyte Camp Trailer Restoration and finds out what's new at this well-known popular restoration facility in Oregon. Also, we'll join the ladies at RVWA as they get closer to completing their Drive to Fab trailer project. Later, Mark and Don Polk from RV Education 101 explain to us how towing affects your tow vehicle. These stories and more on this week's Rollin on TV. Closed and Spanish captioning, where available, is sponsored by Forest River. Follow the river.
Hi, Michelle and Laurie for Rollin on TV, and today we explore the Pigeon Forge, Tennessee area. We stayed at the Pigeon Forge KOA and made our way into Gatlinburg, which is only 7 miles away, 9 miles from this campground. We really like this KOA. Good attention to detail, nice amenities, and this is what we did this time. We chose a back-in site. $62 a night, as you'd expect for a tourist area. And right in back of these RVs is a nice stream, actually called the Little Pigeon River. The other thing we really like about this is notice this park that adjoins the Pigeon Forge KOA. There's an access point through the fence down near the waterway, and you can walk your dog or take a walk. And right over there on the other side of that park is the Old Mill Restaurant. In addition to the Old Mill Restaurant, you'll find shops and places like the Pottery House Cafe and Grill, the Old Mill Creamery, the Old Mill Candy Kitchen, the General Store, the Farmhouse Kitchen, the Pigeon River Pottery, and the Old Forge Distillery, just to name a few, all within very easy walking distance. It's also where you can park for free at the trolley office and catch the trolley to enjoy the sights in Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg, all for a very low cost. The next morning we drove to Gatlinburg, which is 9 miles from the Pigeon Forge KOA. Also a great destination. On this day, we were heading to Anakeesta and the Firefly Village at the top. So come along and enjoy with us. We're in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and we're going up to Anakeesta. There's a couple of campgrounds. Twin Creeks is only 2.1 miles from Anakeesta, which is right in the center of Gatlinburg. And Pigeon Forge KOA, where we are, is about 9 miles and took us about 25 minutes, would you say, Laurie? Yeah. To get here. So just plan accordingly. Gatlinburg, Tennessee is the nearest city to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and is visited by 11 million people a year. This is, according to Anakeesta, the world's only chondola, where guests choose to ride in an open-air 4-passenger chair, which we did, or an enclosed gondola cabin, which holds up to 6 people. On a nice day, the scenic, gentle, open-air ride takes you to the whimsical Firefly Village, which is 600 feet from the base of the mountain. We recommend that you skip the long ticket line and buy those tickets online. It's $24.99 per adult, and then it goes down. Seniors over 60 and children get a reduced rate, and 3 years old and under are free. You can also take the Ridge Rambler. It's also included in the admission price, and get a guided tour through the forest up to the summit. And we're here at Anakeesta, which is at the top of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Anakeesta is a Cherokee Indian word meaning place of the balsams or place of high ground. Anakeesta Tower is downtown Gatlinburg's highest point. It's surrounded by Vista Gardens. The tower has 84 steps, and from this top you can see as far as Kentucky. I am never lost in the mountains. It's where I found myself. This is called the Tree Venture Challenge Course, where kids, or kids at heart, can climb, swing, crawl, and slide through 3 levels of tree houses. The Treetop Skywalk is the longest skywalk in North America, with 880 feet of spectacular hanging bridges suspended 50 to 60 feet in the air. Let's get an adult beverage after this. Okay. How about this? A dueling zip line. 2,600 feet through the canopy, side by side with family and friends. 1.5 hours is $44.99 plus admission. I think we've earned this Anarchista beverage.
Sure have.
We are just leaving Anarchista.
Anarchista.
We're going down the gondola ride. The price of these 2 tickets was, I think, about $42. Well worth it. Lots of things to do up there.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And now we're heading down. We had a nice cold brewski up there.
Snapping.
Oh boy. Michelle Amari exiting Anarchista in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
For more information and links, visit the destination section on RollinOnTV.com.
Aquacam toss-ins. So fast and easy to use, it could seem like a game. Someone once said, the camping doesn't really start until the RV awning comes out. Whoever said that really knew what they were talking about. Carefree of Colorado, celebrating 45 years of RV awning innovation. For more information, visit our website at carefreeofcolorado.com.
Regular viewers may remember that some years ago we paid a visit to Flyte Camp, a company in Bend, Oregon that specializes in repair and restorations of vintage trailers. Well, we caught up with Justin Scribner, half of the Flyte Camp crew, at the Rally on the River in Brownsville, Oregon. And Justin brought us up to speed a little bit on what the company's been up to in the intervening years. Well, it's a darn shame that the good-looking half of this couple can't be here. Anna is elsewhere today. However, Justin, good to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Thank you for having me.
And tell me, what's been going on with Flyte Camp? It's been a few years since we've been out to visit you guys, and we see your name everywhere, and we see your show. So what's happening with you guys
busy,
these days?
busy, you know. We went from visiting with you and being in a very small shop and doing some spec trailers and a few customer renovations to kind of being a big name in vintage travel trailer restoration. And you know, it wasn't something that I pushed for and intended, but it organically happened, which was great. You know, it's really nice to take something that you love and enjoy and have a passion for and turn it into your daily living, which is awesome. So Flyte Camp has definitely expanded. We've moved shops at this point, and we've grown, and we've got some great craftsmen working down there, just incredible workers. And you know, in the interim as well, we've also gotten the privilege to share it with the public through a television show called Flippin' RVs that we had on Travel Channel.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Yeah.
They do a great job, as you guys do, of course.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Yeah. One other thing that I wanted to mention too is about 2 years ago, we came up with an idea to create an authentic vintage styled brand new travel trailer. We had seen a lot of repops out there, and you know, the craftsmanship we wanted to make sure was 100% in there, and they were built just like they were in the 40s and 50s. So I decided to design my own trailer called the Neutron. So along with all of our restoration stuff that we do and our museum pieces and the rarities, We also do a brand new manufactured line called the Neutron. And the Neutron is a trailer that we make right there at the shop. So we have 3 to 5 restorations going, and then typically we always have about 3 Neutrons on the line kind of coming off, which is great.
But the content is everything.
Yeah.
And you guys obviously have some content that is ranges from really cool to mind-blowing.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Speaking of the mind-blowing aspect, we can see this guy behind us.
Yeah.
Can you tell me just very briefly
Sure.
which one this is?
Yeah, this is the Holiday House Geographic Model X, and this was made by the Harry and David Company. Actually, it was made by Holiday House, but it was the Harry and David fruit basket company. This was a concept that David Holmes came up with, and we've got 1 of 2 in fruition right here in front of us, and it's a pretty rare piece. So this trailer involved a lot more than we ever expected. We kind of thought that being a fiberglass shell, that it would be a little bit more preserved than wood frame trailers, which we work with a lot of wood inside trailers. But when we took the windows out on this one, the roof actually collapsed down on itself, which was pretty bad. Kind of scared everybody in the shop a little bit. But in doing so, we decided to go ahead and structurally make it more sound, better than they did originally, and we doubled up on the strength on the sidewalls and also the thickness of the roof structure itself. At that point, we had an empty shell, and so we decided on a floor plan, decided on a wood species, and went to town on it. So when we found the trailer, we didn't have anything to work off of on the inside. So I was referring back to black and white photos and stock photos of the one that went to Europe. And in that, we also were able to speak with the original designer, Chuck Pelly. He was hired by David Holmes to come in, and they set him up down in California to strictly develop this trailer, and he was invaluable in the process of redoing this. So we were able to get his idea on what he really wanted it originally to look like. The other one that went to Europe, they were combining their original box design with this concept. And so some of the cabinetry didn't fit 100% like it should have, like his idea was. And so we got his idea on it and tried to kind of build the trailer that he originally wanted. The interior of this trailer is all black walnut. The other one, they built all in teak. Now monetarily, right now, teak is a little prohibitive. And so we went ahead and did black walnut throughout it, and we did stainless steel countertops. We kept the original footprint of the trailer, but we built the upper cabinets and some of the layout a little bit more usable than what it was originally in the 2 that were finished. So we kind of just improved a little bit on the design, and especially with the original designer helping us through the process, I think it came out pretty spectacular. That's kind of the fun in it. I always tell everybody, every single one of them is individually different. If you go through this rally, there's so many different brands, and there's so many different takes on it, that people personalize them. They were made in a different year, a different era, a different feel, and that's what's fun about a vintage trailer. It's just like a vintage car. They have a life to it, and if you can preserve that life and that history and give that to people to enjoy, then they're stepping into a feeling or a time. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, well, the work you guys do, you're certainly setting the bar about as high as it can go.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's not unusual, not surprising, I guess. Well, the 24-month part is, but it's not surprising you have the lead time, because I know your reputation is preceding you.
Well, thank you very much.
So,
thank you.
Anyway, well, Justin,
hey,
thank you for your
so
time.
Much. I really appreciate it.
Glad to hear things are going well.
Yeah, really good to see you, and enjoy the rally.
So you want to learn a little bit more about Flyte Camp, log on to our website, rollinontv.com.
From off-the-road adventure camping to luxurious full-time RVing and everything in between, Forest River has the RV to fit your needs, budget, and outdoor lifestyle. To see our full line of trailers and motorhomes, visit forestriverinc.com. Forest River. Begin the journey. At Norcol, we realize that some of your favorite RV destinations are off the grid. And Norco refrigerators are uniquely designed with that RV experience in mind. We call it Freedom Unplugged. To learn more about our Norco RV refrigerator line or to find a dealer near you, visit our website at norco.com.
So Drab to Fab right now, we are full steam ahead. After a little bit of a delay with the cabinets and with COVID, we are now doing the Samlex America inverter. We're putting the Go Power solar power back on and building some walls. And then we're gonna start doing the cabinets soon.
So I got up super early this morning. I'm based just south of Atlanta, and I caught an early flight into Chicago and came to Elkhart to volunteer for the RVWA Drab to Fab refab. So my job today is to install the Samlex Evo 2012, which is a 3-in-1 inverter. It has an inverter, a battery charger, and a transfer switch all built into one.
Drab to Fab is all sponsorship driven, so all the products that are going on there have been donated by sponsors, and today we have Samlex America. We reached out to them because they're a great company to work with. And so when we were, investigating who should be a part of this project, when we came to this inverter, it was a no-brainer. It was going to be Samlex America.
This is a new experience for me. I've never installed one of these. I've been selling them for 2 years, but I've never installed one. So this is exciting and intimidating at the same time, and I'm excited to learn about it and actually install it. It's a 3-in-1 device that combines a 2200 watt DC to AC power inverter, a 100 amp battery charger, and a 30 amp transfer switch. Once this is installed in the Drab to Fab trailer, it will become the central hub for the entire power system. You're probably wondering what this inverter does for an RV. When you plug into shore power, the inverter charges your batteries and runs your AC appliances. When you're boondocking, it senses that shore power isn't available and automatically switches to battery power to run your AC devices.
This gives the freedom to anybody to go anywhere and still have power. Who doesn't like that? You can be in the middle of the desert, you can be in the middle of a forest, and you don't have to worry about where's your power source coming from.
A lot more people are starting to want to boondock, and you do need solar or some type of power when you're boondocking because you need to get your slide outs to go in and out. So you want your batteries to maintain that, so after you've been boondocking for a week, you don't want to be stuck with your slide outs stuck out. You need that battery to maintain and be charged so that they can go back in so that you can head back in. I mean, you can manually do it, but who wants to do that? It's awesome that we're installing lithium batteries in the Drab to Fab trailer because this inverter charger was specially designed to work with this new type of battery. Its charger is fully customizable, so it will work with a variety of lithium batteries. And of course, it works with classic lead acid batteries as well. One of the biggest differentiators with our Evo series is the additional DC solar input on all units. The advantage for the installer is that they can wire the solar system from the charge controller directly into the Evo. This saves time and centralizes the power system around the Evo. I'm also installing the Evo RC Plus, which is the remote. This controls the functionality of the Evo. Basically, it has an SD card and it controls the data, or you can upload the data to it. So if you have any issues with this, you can upload it onto the computer and Samlex's tech team can troubleshoot for you and help you with any issues you may have. The Samlex DC 3500 inverter installation kits come with all the cables and fuses you need to safely install your inverter charger into the RV. I really enjoy this, and I feel it's very important to network with other women in the industry because we all think differently. We bring something different to the table, and we can help one another in our individual companies and expound upon that and basically transition it to fit our needs and possibly learn something new from one another.
Wow, am I glad I used Aquachem. Maybe chili wasn't the best idea.
Aquachem, the most powerful odor control available, and the #1 seller for over 50 years.
Hi, I'm Mark Polk with RV Education 101, and I would like to welcome you to RV 101, Understanding Your RV. Today's topic is understanding a vehicle's powertrain and how towing affects it. Let's start right now. Let's start by explaining what a vehicle powertrain is. The powertrain on a rear-wheel drive vehicle like this includes every component required to get the power from the engine to the rear axle. The vehicle's engine is rated by horsepower and torque. To get that torque to the vehicle's rear wheels requires several components in the vehicle's drivetrain. First, the power leaving the engine goes to the transmission. In this case, it's an automatic transmission. The transmission provides you with a variety of gear ranges based on the speed and torque for the driving conditions. Most modern-day vehicles used for towing or hauling heavy loads will have a tow-haul mode. If you are towing and the transmission keeps shifting in and out of gears, you can use the tow-haul mode. Read your owner's manual for more information on tow-haul and gear selection when towing. From the transmission, the power is delivered to the rear axle by way of the drive shaft. The axle uses a pinion and ring gear to get the power to both rear wheels. Axles come with different gear sets, which is typically referred to as the axle ratio. The axle ratio is a comparison of how many times the drive shaft rotates in relationship to how many times the rear wheels rotate. Axle ratios are expressed in numeric values. For example, a 373:1 axle ratio means the drive shaft or pinion gear rotates 3.73 times for each rotation of the wheels or the ring gear. The lower the numeric value is, the better the axle is for fuel economy, and the higher the numeric value is, the better the axle is for towing. Under normal driving conditions, all of these components do their individual jobs with very little stress and with operating temperatures in the normal ranges. When you add additional weight to the vehicle, like a travel trailer or fifth wheel trailer, the components we just discussed are expected to do the same job as before with the added weight and stress on the components. Let's see what happens under this scenario. With additional weight comes more heat and friction as the driveline does its job. When the coolant, oil, and fluids run hotter than normal, it's more difficult to lubricate the metal-on-metal components, causing increased friction and wear. This is why truck manufacturers offer tow packages. To counter the effects of the added stress and optimize towing, a tow package offers things like a heavy-duty cooling system, engine oil coolers, and transmission coolers. Many go even further and provide an upgraded suspension system, larger brakes, a built-in trailer brake controller, and tow mirrors. And when you use the proper hitch components like a weight distributing hitch, it helps lessen the stress on the powertrain when you're towing a trailer. You can see how a tow package is designed to help deal with the added heat and stress placed on the vehicle's powertrain, but possibly the most important thing we as owners can do is make sure the engine coolant, oil, fluids, and all the filters are replaced on a regular schedule. Fresh oil, fluids, and filters provide the highest degree of lubrication qualities and are the best defense against heat, friction, and stress on the powertrain components. Happy camping.
For additional information on anything featured on this week's show, along with additional stories, videos, and information about RVs, camping, and the RV lifestyle, along with the latest news and trends, be sure to visit our website at rollinontv.com. As usual, this has been another fun production.